Hello and welcome to the Neon Chronicles. Today we're going to take a look at Wuthering Waves and what's making this game the talk of the town. But today we do want to take a look at things a little bit differently. As we go through everything that's making this game so special, we're also going to compare it to games of the past and current games that have similar features or that have notable points of inspiration that Wuthering Waves seems to be drawing upon. If any of that interests you, please do tag along and consider subscribing and leaving a comment with your thoughts. It really helps out the channel and helps build a community. So with all that being said, let's dive right into it. Right, so our first category is character designs, and you can tell right away that these kind of look like Genshin Impact characters, but more adult, and I love that. I think, for example, Kakarot is one of my favorites here. I see some Sephiroth in there, I see some Raiden from Metal Gear Solid, as well as some Dante from Devil May Cry, so I love these characters. I love that they're bringing them all into one. Also in Alto, I am so excited for this one. I love that he's a 4-star. He's got that Kabe pretty boy face, but the Nightcrawler combat style that I just always love that scene in X-Men. I don't know if you all know what I'm familiar. I'll put it up in the screen with the video, but I'm very excited for Alto. Also love that his energy is like comedic relief, like Ito and Sampo from Genshin and Honkai. So I think it'll be a really good mix. Alright, so our next category is attention to detail, which I think this is what can make or break a game. If you look at Genshin Impact and Tower of Fantasy, it's the little things, the polishes, the smoothness of the animations, the smoothness of the VFX that really can pull a game together and make it feel much more immersive. And that also goes in with sound design, which is our next category. They've grabbed all the best bits that make things flashy, drawing inspiration from some of the fan favorites and the things that make these games feel fast-paced and flashy. And then you put that on top of the combat, which, you know, has fast switching from character to character. Reminded me a little bit of Final Fantasy. We all love, you know, team switching elements like this where it can add a lot of variety to the gameplay. And then also the dodge and the parry mechanics. I think any game like we just saw on the screen with Tower of Fantasy with the perfect dodging and anything that you can have where it requires fast-paced engagement from the player makes the game so much more fun. Next category is probably one of my favorites because I just love world building. I think the way that they've curated the sci-fi, you know, it's got the shimmer from Annihilation and these darker moments like we would see in Oblivion or games like The Darkness. I don't know if anybody knows that one from the PS3. I'm excited about this contrast of lively and abandoned and like the bioluminescence in Avatar and the beautiful lighting that they have in a lot of these environments. It's going to make for really fun exploration, which is our next category. This is where I'm not hesitant, but I just hope that they bring in a fresh take from what other exploration games have done, open world exploration games have done. I hope that it's not just the same rinse and repeat from the others. But I will say that the parkour mechanics, they're making it feel pretty fun in terms of everything that they're adding in this initial release. I think if they can do this in the first release, I'm excited to see what they'll do in the long term. Now this next category, bear with me, it might be a little bit niche, but if any of you have played the game Folklore on the PS3 as well, it had this very moody, nostalgic atmosphere to it that feels very similar to this. And when I saw the creature capture systems, I definitely, was immediately brought back to Folklore. You would capture these creatures, kind of like in Pokemon, and then be able to use them in combat, which makes it more dynamic. And then lastly, once you reach that end game, I think it's important that games consider what's going to be the content that you keep grinding out, even when you've completed everything you can possibly complete. And I think having something that's roguelike, like, we've seen it in Hades, we've seen it in Honkai, which makes it really fun for you to continue playing the game once you've reached the ending, because you can just quickly repeat each cycle while having elements of randomness that make each cycle different. So those are the biggest things that I am personally excited about. I think that regardless of how this goes, regardless of what the competition looks like going forward between Kuro Games and Hoyoverse, I think competition breeds higher quality products as these two different creators are going to start to push and pull and have a tug of war with each other. it's going to push them to make their games the best that they can be. So these are just the things that I'm personally excited about. I would love to know what you guys are excited about. So let me know in the comments. And if it's any of the stuff that I noted here, or if it's any of the characters, definitely comment those below. I want to see what people are going to be pulling for day one. But thanks again for joining us today, and I hope to catch you on the next one.